Hello, I'm Azai. Sorry for the radio silence for, I think, about a week. But bad news and also somewhat good news is that, one, I am back. Two, for the bad news is that I actually got COVID, which means that I am already recovered, but I still need to get tested out again. But for the most part, those 2 days that I said I was sick, turns out I got COVID. I actually had a pretty bad fever. And after that, that was about it, really. I had a fever for 1 day, so I had to rest up after Chinese New Year. I don't know who gave it to me. I mean, if we were pointing fingers at this point, it's not really productive in any way. Like, there's no way we would know, or we would know who got it first, but like, what's the point, you know? Like, who cares who got it first? At the end of the day, I got it, my family got it, but we are recovering pretty well. So I do apologize for being MIA for quite a bit. The last episode was actually made before Chinese New Year. I think it was a week before Chinese New Year, so yeah, sorry about that. I tried to make another episode before Chinese New Year, but I had to go somewhere. So sorry for the long tangent here, but just want to say I am back. The reason why I didn't record a video after I got better, which was maybe like 2 days, like I said, I basically only had to rest up for 2 days, and I was already going back to doing my cycling again on my bike at home, but I couldn't really go out, so I can't go to the gym. I had to go remote work, or technically not go, but you know, stay at home and do some remote work. You'd think that remote work would be nice. I mean, I guess it is nice. I can actually play Osu during my break, or when I don't really have anything to do, which is nice, for sure. But yeah, I'm not really someone who likes remote work that much. It's kind of weird. But yeah, enough about that. Last time, I forgot what happened. I actually don't remember what scene we were last finishing off on. But what I do remember is that I was really annoyed by the fact that the cable was messing up with the mic. So hopefully that is fixed. I did stream after I did that recording, and it doesn't seem like anyone was complaining about the popping sound of the mic. So I think it's fixed. And because of that, I forgot to say, you know, the like and subscribe thing, so yeah, do that. I'd appreciate that very much. But alright, enough of my tangent. Like I said, I've been babbling on for like 3 minutes. Let's continue Grisaia, shall we?
ねえ、ちょっとあんたに話があるんだけど。
But yeah, let me refresh myself. What was the last scene that we did? Sought out normality. It'd be idiotic to run from it now. I want peace, or refuse to face the ugliness in myself. I want to change, so I reject the happiness of a carefree existence. I remember we were talking to Sakaki a tiny bit. Was the last scene us talking to her when her dad was inspecting? Or maybe we were done with that. Let's see. Oh, we wanted to go to the beach. Okay, so after that we talked about going to the beach. Okay. So we talked to Chizuru about that, and I think we are on the way there right now. I'm sitting in my chair, immersed in a book, when a certain bottle blonde cautiously strikes up a conversation. Makina's standing at her side, a somewhat awkward expression on her face. I've also been listening to a lot of music during my, during my at-home time. There's not really much you can do at home, which is actually very good for me, considering a lot of my hobbies tend to be just in front of the computer. So, like, listening to music has been such a pleasure. It's one of those things where I can just relax, not think about anything. Damn it, I'm going on a tangent again. Sorry about that. I just have so much to talk about because I haven't been, like, recording much, so I haven't been talking, so I keep rambling on. Okay, what was I talking about again? Let's just continue on. Sorry about this. I need to get my rhythm on again. Dropping the autobiography of the ex-idol Chigasaki Megumi face down onto my desk. I have no idea who that is. If you guys are into idols by any way, or in any way, is that a real idol or is that just someone... I'm guessing it's not a real idol. Usually these type of fictional writing don't really try to put in people that are in real life. They try to do it, but you know, something like when they have Starbucks, they kind of spell it wrong, like Starbooks or Starbacks, or you know, I guess it's to avoid copyright or something. I turned my attention to the two of them. What's up? If you're looking to confess your love, wouldn't a meeting behind a gym make for a better atmosphere? Either way, 2 at once is a new one. It seems I'm something of a lady killer.
そんなわけないでしょ。あんたに前から言いたいことがあったのよ。それを今こうして伝えに来たの。
If you have something to say to me, feel free. I'll listen if nothing else.
あのね、ユージ。
Oh, that's it? Oh, there we go. Hmm?
絡みにくいのよ。
Hmm?
何やらただものじゃない感じがするのよね。その雰囲気というか、オーラというか、それがいけないと思うの。ね、そうでしょ、マキナ。
私はそうは思わない。
そこで私たちはいい方法を考えたのよね。ふふん、これはちょっとすごいわよ。
I thought we were going to the beach. I don't remember this scene at all. Okay. Since entering the school, I've been consciously trying to act like an average student. But apparently, my efforts haven't been that successful. I might be wearing sheep's clothing, but I guess the scent of a wolf can't be disguised so easily. What's this nice plan of yours? I hope it doesn't involve dressing me up in a skirt and dragging me into the bathroom for girl talk. I can probably still squeeze into a size 8, but I've had enough of that for one lifetime.
そんな気持ち悪いことするわけないでしょ。つまり、私がマキナにチルチルと呼ばれているように、あんたにも何かニックネームがあった方がいいんじゃないのってことなのよ。
A nickname, you say?
ニックネーム。それは人と人との距離を縮める愛のささやき。ニックネーム。それは凝縮された言葉に込められた他人を思いやる気持ち。
Man, I should have actually recorded a video a couple of days ago. I thought that my, you know, I guess it was because I got affected by my sister and, you know, like my family in general. They said that, be careful, you might never know, you might need some more rest and all that stuff. Even though I was already cycling after 2 days, like I said, since I got COVID. But I did have a pretty bad case of the, not really cough, but an itchy throat. So that's why I didn't really want to pause the recording every time I had to clear my throat or something. That was my main gripe, which was why I wasn't recording much. But alright, enough about that. Continue.
ニックネーム。それは暗黒に満ちたこの世界での最後の希望。エキサイティング故障。ニックルネーム。
An epitaph. You planning on writing my obituary? I don't know what that is, Yuji.
故障よ故障。そんな素敵なニックネームをユージにもつけてあげようと思ってるの。どう？喜んでもいいのよ。さあ、高くおたけべ。
A name is nothing more than an arbitrary label to distinguish one individual from another. I suppose you're free to attach affection to it if you want, but personally, I don't see any particular need to do so. Damn you and your pretentious nature, Yuji.
うるさいわね。あんたがいらないって思っても、私があればいいなって思ったんだから、それを受け入れなさいよ。
I
see. What sort of a nickname were you thinking of?
私もチルチルと一緒に考えさせられたのよ。
そう。普段のあんたの態度。そして見た目、性格、その全てを表す素敵なニックネームを2人で考えたのよ。
Well, go ahead and say it. I'll hear you out.
その名も、近寄りがたい人。
Something Hito? I can't really hear what she said.
何よその顔は。
But I know what standoffish means. One of the big words that I actually know. Do you seriously plan to use that name every single time you talk to me?
そうよ、悪い？ねえ、ザ近寄りがたい人、ちょっとそこの黒板消し取って。
Chat
あ、ザ
something?
近寄りがたい人、ちょっとそこのハム取って。
Chico gari hat something? Oh my god, that's actually a very hard thing to say in Japanese.
ほら自然。
Kinda like a mouthful, to be honest, Michiru.
特にハムを取ってもらうときはより優しい響きがした気がする。
呼びにくいのよさ。それにうまく人柄を表現できてるか微妙なのよね。
I hope you guys aren't hearing me clearing my throat. I am muting the mic every time I do that. Sometimes I am doing it, but definitely not as much as I thought I would be doing it.
かなり端的に表現できてない？
If I'm going to be passing you ham on a regular basis, I can't be as standoffish as all that.
うっさいわね。今のは例えよ、例え。
Anyway, if you're going to start giving people nicknames for being antisocial, shouldn't you start with Tsukaki? She's not the most approachable person either, wouldn't you say?
それはそうだけどさ。そうなんだけどさ。
印象はそれぞれ受け方が違うから、名前をもじってニックネームにするっていうのはどうなのよさ。
それよ、それだわ。名前をもじってニックネームにする。ふふん、私ってばアイディアの宝庫ね。
Most of them seem to be shamelessly stolen from Makina.
風見裕二。全く面白みのない退屈な名前ね。これをどう愉快にするかが問題か。
Is there any reason it has to be fun? I can't see one.
当たり前でしょ。呼びかけるときにハッピーな気持ちになった方がいいじゃない。何しろ場が和む。
I mean, I can't deny that.
ハッピーか。じゃあこういうのはどうなのよさ。ジューシーユージー。
それは惜しい。
惜しいとは？
語呂はね、語呂はいいわね。確かにね、ジューシーユージいいわね。でもユージってばあんまジューシーな感じしないでしょう。なんていうの？レモンを絞った時に出る果実のきらめきみたいなさ、そういうのがないじゃない。どっちかっていうと干し柿っぽくない？枯れてる感じが。
Why don't you tell me what you really think, punk? Don't worry, I'm thick-skinned.
いや、悪口じゃないですよ。その落ち着いた感じだなーっていうね。いい意味での乾物感が半端ないなーっていう。
Thanks, Michiru. You know, I think the thick skin part I actually did get from Yuji. It's something I appreciate a lot more, actually. In my personality, I do appreciate people who are honest rather than talking behind my back. They actually say it up front that they don't like me because of a specific reason and all that. It makes me feel like, wow, okay, that's something that I can try to fix if what they're saying makes sense. If what they're saying just straight up is a load of baloney, I just be like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I appreciate people's honesty when they don't like me for a specific reason.
ねえ、何を話してるか知らないけど、もう少し静かにしてくれる？うるさくて本に集中できないんだけど。
じゃあ近寄りが。
Michiru hurriedly closes her hands around Makina's mouth before any problematic words can emerge. The girl may be an idiot, but the speed with which she reacts to situations like these is admirable.
ごめんね。そうだ、ユミコも一緒にユージのニックネームつけなさいよ。
ニックネーム？風見くんの？なぜ？
I've been playing some visual novels on the site too. Mostly Japanese ones, surprisingly. I do feel like a lot of the Japanese ones tend to be more... Like, there are a couple of Japanese-only visual novels that I'm very curious about. So I've been playing them with this thing called the Sugoi Translator. It's a pretty nifty tool. which is basically a text tractor, but you can use Deep L and a lot of other things to translate. So it's pretty nice. It is machine translation though, so it doesn't have a lot of the writing style that you'd see from localization translators. But I am not a Native American, or I'm not natively, I don't speak English naturally, right? So broken English in my eyes are not all that bad. Like, I can understand the gist of it, but for someone who definitely reads literature, that's definitely not their thing. I am going to LP one of them though, after this game, I think, as like a break. I've tried it out for maybe 5 minutes and the premise seems very interesting. And hopefully I can make at least make the story understandable for people that are watching. Because it does seem like a pretty interesting story.
なぜって、あった方がいいからに決まってるでしょ。お、ほらほら、参加したくなってきたでしょ。まさかのドキワク感が出てきちゃってるでしょ。
ごめんなさい、興味ない。
いいから適当でもいいからね、ちょっと戯れで言ってみて。
適当でいいって言われても。
もう全力で適当でいいから、きっとユージも喜ぶわよ。
After a lengthy period of deliberation, Sakaki reaches her answer.
ジューシーユージ？
まさかかぶった。
ほらね、やっぱりジューシーな感じなのよさ。
She probably just overheard Makina saying that.
それか、ユージユージ？
The fuck?
ユージユミコって意外に。
何か言いたいことでもあるの？
いやいや、榊さんなんでもないです。はい、素敵なニックネームです。
お願いだから邪魔しないで。本読んでるんだから。
あの女だけは本当にどうかしてるわね。ユージ。なかなかいい候補が出たじゃない。さあ、ユージ、どう呼ばれたい？
Which? Don't tell me you expect me to choose one of those.
当たり前じゃない。私たちが頑張って考えてあげた心のこもった贈り物よ。さあ、選んで。
I seem to remember you saying no effort whatsoever was required.
うっさいわね。ちゃんと適当な心がこもってるのよ。
I don't really think this matters too much. Just changing the
セーブしま
scene.
すか？
I think. I think it just changes the scene. So I probably will just choose every one of these after the scene ends. Alright, out of those, I'd say Mr. Standoffish Man.
さあ、近寄りがたい人を選ぶとはさすがね。じゃあ呼んであげるわ。さあ、近寄りがたい人。
I gotta hear this again. This is so hard. This is a tongue twister.
さあ、近寄りがたい人。さあ、近寄りがたい人。
Chikai something?
さあ、近寄りがたい人。
Chikai gihat. Oh my god, it's too hard for me. What the fuck? Man, that's too hard for me without actually seeing the Romaji. Like, what the hell? Like, my brain can't process it for some reason.
さあ、近寄りがたい人。
Chikagayori hatai hito? What the fuck? It's so hard.
近寄りがたい人。
Yeah, I'm not saying that no more. To be honest, I think I'd rather be addressed as a number.
なんでよ。いいじゃない。素敵じゃない。いいな。素敵よな、その名前。私だって欲しいぐらいよ。
Jealous, are you? In that case, allow me to give you a nickname as well.
いや、私はほら、もうチルチルっていう素敵な名前があるしさ。2つもいただいたら申し訳ないしね。
The more nicknames the merrier, in my opinion. Back me up here, Makina.
他にもあっても楽しいのよさ。ザ・近寄りがたい人の言う通り。
Alright, first off, let's see if we can come up with anything based off your appearance.
そんなにまじまじと見ないでよ。よろしいわね。
I've decided. From this day forth, you are dirty blonde.
ちょっとそれひどくない？これでも綺麗に染まるように努力してるっていうのに、それただの悪口じゃないの。
It's not slander, it's an objective description of your appearance. Listen up, dirty blonde. When you confer a nickname on someone, it's only natural to expect the same treatment in return. I suggest you remember that. That said, I'm a man of mercy. If you dislike the name that much, I suppose I can give you another.
他のにしてください。
Alright then, I'll transform the name Michiru.
変化させて。
Mitcher. Okay, I kind of remember this now. Because I did use the other nickname later on that Yuji is saying on a specific person.
微妙すぎる。不愉快な感じはしないけど、尋常じゃないほどのしっくりこない感。だけど名前から文字を取ってるだけに否定できない。なんという絶妙にダメなニックネームなの。こんなに複雑な気持ちになったの初めて。
Okay, Machina, make sure everyone knows to call Michiru Mitcher from now on.
わかったのよさ。じゃあね、みっちゃん。ザ・近寄りがたい人。
Maybe I'm not gonna reload and see the changes for the name. I think the only changes is that Machina calls you that, like the other choices that you make, like Yuji and Jushi Yuji, instead of this name, whatever it is in Japanese. It's so hard to say.
近寄りがたい人。なかなかやるわね。
Oh, I've got nothing on you, Mitcher.
お二方が解明されたというのは本当でしょうか。マキちゃんから聞いたのですが、私にわかには信じられません。
解明なんてしてないわよ。ニックネームよ、ニックネーム。
そうだったんですね。私はてっきり名前を変えないといけないほどの何かをやらかしてしまったのではないかと、ほとほと心配いたしました。
Sachi, my friend, now that you know the truth of the matter, I'm sure you're longing for your own nickname. Fear not, for I will provide you with one.
はい、ありがとうございます。
You are now Sacher.
やめて。そうやって安易にニックネームを増やしていくのはやめて。
では私、今日からサッチャーとして生きていくこと、ここに誓わせていただきます。
I kind of remember this because I forgot what game it was. I think I was using this nickname on a specific game. Was it Blade and Soul? It might have been that game.
ちょっとマキナから聞いたんだけど。
Archer.
何？やめて。お願いだからやめて。
この流れは誰にも止められません。ついに解明の時代がやってきてしまったのです。
I think the game is a bit louder than usual. Let me lower it by a tiny bit. There we go. I think. It's been a while since I even done anything, so I do apologize if the voices are, unbalanced.
伝達終了したのよさ。あれ、どうしたの？
Matcher.
抹茶？
待って、お願い。それ以上はやめて。ユージ。
What's the matter? Why am I Yuji now? I just got a wonderful nickname after all. Feel free to use it.
いや、私が悪かったわ。この計画は中止よ。みんなごめんね。ニックネームの話は廃棄するわ。今まで通りで行きましょう。この短時間で痛いほど後悔させてもらったわよね。
それがいいと思うのよさ。
はい、ではこの小峰幸としてまた生活させていただきます。
あんまりくだらないことで驚かせないでよね。
Hey, chin up. I thought it was a pretty good idea, by your standards at least.
うっさい。なんだかとっと疲れた。
Seems like this mass nicknaming session was sadly insufficient to reduce the incongruity of my presence in the school. From now on, I think I need to make a little more effort to blend in.
ねえねえ、何の騒ぎ？
Oh, it's Princher. Whatever, Yuji.
何？それ何？
Alright then, I'll be going now.
ちょっと何よねえ、学園茶ってお茶？
Gakuencher. So dumb.
待ちなさいよ。何よもう。
Haven't heard Chizuru's voice actor in so long. She's kinda, I don't know. It's not bad, but for a principal, it definitely doesn't fit her. Sounds way too young. Hmm?
あまねさんはいらっしゃいませんか？
When I arrive at the third floor, I find an unusual scene waiting for me. Sachi's wandering around, shouting out Amani's name.
私ならここだけど、そんなに慌ててどうしたの？っていうか、どさくさに紛れて呼び捨てにすんな。
それは許してほしいのよ。実は年上として敬っていないという本音がついこぼれてしまっただけなのよさ。
余計悪いわよ。
ごめんよ。
で、人の名前を大声で呼んでた理由は何？
実はあまねえに女ってやつを教えてほしいのよさ。
女？
Makina's vague description of her objective prompts an instantaneous fiery blush from Amane. Sorry to butt in, but I'm positive you're misunderstanding something here, Amane.
そうなの？
はい、興奮気味のマキちゃんに代わって私が事情を説明しますと、先ほどロビーのテレビでアニメを視聴していたのですが、その次に始まった番組で女子力アップ特集という内容を放送していまして、
Cartoons? Damn you, localization team! I mean, technically, I guess anime is cartoons in Japan.
その中で女性コメンテーターが発した化粧は女のたしなみですからねという言葉に感銘を受けたみたいで、
なるほど。話を聞いただけでその時の状況が目に浮かぶわよ。
Man, I could never understand women and their makeup. Sure, it makes you pretty. Like, I've seen some differences that can change people's appearance with makeup. But my god, the amount of money for makeup is just insane. And what, for a couple of hours of being pretty? I feel like it's better for you guys to not wear makeup at all, but maybe that's from the perspective of a guy. Can't really say much.
テレビの影響を受けやすいという現代っ子代表の私。
By the way, impressive work as always, class rep. A concise and edifying report. Nowadays, Machina, it's not TV. It's like YouTube, I guess, Instagram, and TikTok. That's probably what people use to base their thoughts on.
ありがとうございます。
だから経験豊富なあまねえに化粧のやり方を教えてもらおうって話なのよさ。
私もお化粧に関してはあまり自信がありませんので、ここはぜひあまねさんのお力を借りたいと。
言いたいことは分かったけど、二人にはまだ必要ないと思うわよ、化粧。
Not like you guys are wearing makeup anyway, Amane. I guess one of the benefits about these 2D girls is that they can be drawn like however they want. You know? Usually they're drawn very pretty, of course. But there can be like, what is it? There can be instances where they're drawn pretty bad, but then using makeup, they're drawn super good after that. I guess just like the typical before-after when people use makeup and before. And, you know, before and after. I don't really know what I was trying to say there.
やっぱりバスト82センチ以下の私たちは 女性としてカウントされないってこと？
いや、そういうわけじゃなくて、化粧はもともと見せたくないものを隠すためにすることが多いからさ。
That a fact?
まあね、目の下のクマとかそばかす、肌荒れとかそういうお肌のトラブルは女の子の天敵だから。
I see.
だからマキナやさっちゃんみたいにまだお肌がツルツルしてる子たちには必要ないってわけ。
I did think I forgot who told me this. I think it was my friend's mother or something like that. But skincare is something that's pretty important. Well, not necessarily makeup, but just trying to, protect your skin, like lotion and all that. I think that's something that people should be considering if they want to have like a very nice skin in the future when they're older. Now that I'm a fitness nut though, I feel like the best cure for that is just exercise, to be completely honest. But to each their own. Some people, if they don't like exercise, they can try to use skincare and all that.
ではあまねさんは必要があるということなのでしょうか？
嫌な質問するわね、さっちゃんって。
すみません。
でもその通り。私はたまに肌が荒れちゃったりするからファンデーションをのせたりリップを使ったりしてるもの。
Yeah, sure. You use lipstick with such a small mouth. Really? If you're using cosmetics frequently, it's not particularly noticeable.
そりゃしてないように見えるように気を使ってますから。
Is there a need to worry about that?
だってユージ、化粧してる女の子ってあまり好きじゃないでしょ？
Well, I'm not a fan of women who plaster it on, no.
だから気を使ってるんじゃない。
I see. When it comes to manipulating the complexion, I'm more familiar with face paint for camouflage purposes, but there are clearly some fairly large differences.
でも私たちだってもう何年かしたら必要になってくるかもしれないのよ。
それはそうだけど。
とにかく私は今化粧がやってみたいのよさ。
私からもお願いします、あまねさん。
Now that I think about it though, makeup for people who do cosplay, now that's something that I can appreciate. People that do cosplay that really look like the character that they represent or are trying to represent, that always makes me feel like, damn, that guy's good. Or people who do like super amazing costumes, or not costumes, what do you call those? Like those suits, like Kamen Rider, and then maybe like Gundams. Damn, those are really cool. Those are really cool looking. Takes a really long time though to make the custom stuff that they have to make. Sachi bows deeply in earnest supplication. Amane hesitates for a moment, thinking the matter over with an uncomfortable expression on her face.
そこまで頼まれたらしょうがないか。
ほんとけ？後になって後悔したりしねえのけ？
Holy shit, it's already been half an hour? Time really goes by when you're playing this game.
いいわよ。もともと嫌だったわけじゃなかったしね。
よーし、あまねの承諾ゲットなのよさ。
Makina shouts happily and throws her hand up in the air, exchanging an energetic high five with Sachi.
で、場所はどうする？人数いるとあまねの部屋じゃ厳しそうだし、ここでいい？って何街角で美人を見かけた時みたいな顔してるのよ。別に今日の私は普通よ。
Or any less of an airhead apparently. Where did you come from?
別に覗いてみたら楽しそうだったから出てきたわけじゃないんだからね。なんていうか相変わらず分かりやすいわね、みちるは。分かりやすくなんてないわよ。複雑よ。いいから私も混ぜなさいよ。分かったわよ。一応この中じゃ一番うまい自信はあるし、この際まとめて面倒を見てあげるわよ。
さすがあまね、ビッチの日本代表なのよさ。
So dumb.
あんた本当に人から物を教わろうって気があるの？
I do appreciate the tranquil atmosphere though. After some of the games that I've been playing, this kind of atmosphere is pretty nice. Like the contrast between like a super intense atmosphere and then like this. It's a super comfy atmosphere that you can relax to.
往々にして
すっごく嘘くさいけど、どうせやるって決めたんだからついでに榊さんも呼んじゃおっか。あのねあまね、あの由美子がこういう催しに参加すると思う？思わないから。さっちゃんお願いね。
はい、お任せください。
It's been a few minutes since Sachi accepted Amani's request. Sakaki stands before my eyes with a resigned expression on her face, and her hands bound behind her back.
で、どうして私は小峰さんに拉致されたのかしら。
唐突だけどみんなに化粧を教えることになったから、榊さんも道連れにしようと思って。
道連れって。
まあまあ、榊さんもこの機会に覚えておいて損はないと思うわよ。
それはどういう意味？
榊さん、最近お肌が荒れることが多いでしょう。
どうしてそのことを？
よく夜更かししてるみたいだし、ジャンクフードも好きみたいだからね。男の子の転校生もやってきたことだし、今のうちに覚えておくと便利よ。
Man, these guys, I guess I can't really blame them. I was gonna say, these guys don't have any, like, you know, any motivation to do any sort of exercise. But, like I keep saying, I keep preaching this, but after you're done with school and all that, if you're not really the sport type, or if you don't pursue anything that has a community within sports, there is a high probability that you won't be touching any sort of sport until the end of your life. That's what happened with my dad, that's what happened with my brother. And I assume that would be what happened to me too. What would happen to me? Except, I don't know, I guess a lot of drastic changes happened during COVID.
わかったわ。
Amani delivers her advice along with a wink or two. Before long, Sakaki responds with a small nod.
つまり孤高のユニコーン榊も一人の女、そういうことですね。
With one sentence, Sakaki's been pierced to the core. For Sachi, whose role is to establish order among the group, such sharp and ruthless insight must prove a truly indispensable asset.
まあこれであまねちゃんビューティースクールの生徒も揃ったことだし、早速講義を始めていくわよ。
その間お兄ちゃんは何をしてるの？
Good question. I can leave if I be a distraction.
せっかくだからユージにはここにいてもらおうかな。
どうしてその必要が？
その方がみんな真面目にやってくれそうだから。
あなたもいい性格をしているわね。
ありがとう。
I don't entirely follow, but it seems that Amani has a surprisingly devious side.
というわけで感想があったらバンバン言ってくれちゃっていいからね。
Got it. I'll take you up on that.
ユージはただでさえ遠慮がないってのに。
Yeah, I have to say that part of the weird thing when people are talking about makeup in anime is that, like, these guys are already pretty, right? So they don't really need makeup in any way. And I don't think they actually do change the facial expression or the CG or the sprites in this case on the girls after they use makeup. If I remember correctly, of course. We'll see.
気が重いわ。
So it's kind of awkward that they're trying makeup when they're already, you know, when they clearly don't need it.
それじゃあ早速始めていくけど、まずは化粧水でお肌に水分を与えます。ああ、それなら私も知ってるわよ。傷口の洗浄とかにも使われるやつでしょ。 それって生理食塩水のことじゃない？でもお化粧にも使うんでしょ？使わないわよ。
While Amane answers her students' question and provides general guidance, each of them begins to apply their own makeup. Seeing women putting on cosmetics like this is probably a fairly rare opportunity for a man. I must admit, it's actually somewhat interesting to watch. As someone who has gone shopping with my sister and going to the makeup section, yeah, it's not fun, Yuji. I mean, maybe when they're trying to apply it, like in this case, they're trying to apply everything at once, it's more interesting, but trying to see what my sister would buy and waiting it out for 2 hours in the same section is just like painful.
で、次に肌を守るために下地をのせていくんだけど、下地は毛穴を隠せたり、最近だと UV カットの効果なんかもあるから、用途に合ったものを選ぶようにね。
ここで余談なのだけれど、アマニーが使ってる化粧下地はとても美味しそうな匂いがするのよ。
だからって食べようとしたらダメだよ。
ひっひっひ、実はもう実行済みなんでさ。
We should really do something about the infantile habits this girl has of putting anything and everything in her mouth, preferably before she ends up poisoning herself.
で、その後に薄くファンデを塗っていくとこうなります。
Amane finishes her cosmetics demonstration, prompting a small chorus of admiring ohs from her audience.
一番長く生きてるだけあってさすがにうまいわね。
私もあまねさんのカモフラージュ能力の高さには驚きました。
なんか素直に喜べない褒められ方だな。
But what's the plan now? Everyone probably wants to apply stuff in their own way to cover up different things, right?
そうそう。だからこの後は一人一人個別に指導していきます。
なるほど。
で、どうマキナ？実際に化粧してみた感想は？
よくわからないのだけど、なんか顔がパリパリしてる感じがするのよさ。
まあ、慣れるまでは違和感あるかもね。
私もできました。
私もできたんだけど。
こんな感じでいいのかしら。
いい感じいい感じ。みんなここまではちゃんとついてこれてるじゃない。
Amani inspects everyone's individual workmanship, nodding in apparent satisfaction.
じゃあ次はアイラインとかつけまつげとかそういうのを個別に指導していきますからね。
My goodness, makeup is so weird. People are not gonna see your eyes, damn it. Well, maybe some people, but I don't know. Is it real? I don't know. I really don't understand makeup. Somehow, it really has turned into a pretty respectable little classroom.
はい、30分。それじゃあみんなの上達ぶりをチェックさせてもらうわよ。
As the time alarm goes off, Amane returns to the lobby after a half-hour absence. Having completed her instruction on the finishing touches, she decided to hold a little examination at the very end to evaluate her students' capabilities.
なんとか形にはなったけど。
教えられた通りにできているかどうか。
誰でも最初はうまくいかなくて当然なんだから、そんなに緊張しなくてもいいのに。
そうよね。
というわけで同意してくれた榊さんから見させてもらうけど、どう？自分でうまくできたと思う？
一応習った通りにやってみたつもりなのだけど。
すっごく上手にできてるじゃない。ユージもそう思うでしょ？
I don't know. I mean, these chibi sprites are not the typical sprite I'm used to, Mane. Have to say it is pretty cute though. Yeah, you're right. It's a nice light level of makeup. Not unpleasant to look at.
よかった。
じゃあ次は不安がってたみちるね。とテーマはザ・ツンデレなんだけど、どう これまつげいくつつけた？ほんの5個くらいだけど。明らかにつけすぎだし、重みで目が半分くらいしか開いてないじゃない。じゃあユージはどう思ったのよ。
The only element that says tsundere to me right now is your hairstyle, to be honest.
化粧全否定。じゃあ続いてマキナ行ってみよっか。
What the fuck? No, this is clearly for comedic effect.
ごめん、これはどういうテーマ？
私はアマネーの出身地でもある京都に目を向けて京ガールをイメージしてみたのよさ。
Oh, I think she's talking about those geisha girls, right? I think those geisha girls seem to have like, are they geishas? I don't know. You know, the very old Japanese women tend to have like super crazy makeup on,
私
I think.
おしろいなんて持ってたっけ？
これならサッチンが5分で用意してくれたのよ。
ああ、なるほどね。
She's even got specialty makeup supplies in that locker?
でもこれって舞妓さん限定のメイクよね。
Yeah, there we go. Geishas, right? Maiko. Is geishas not geishas in Japanese? Yeah. Wander around the neighborhood in this stuff and you're just going to startle people.
じゃあこのお化粧はなしということで。
実に不本意な結果なのよさ。
じゃあ最後は一番安心できそうなさっちゃんで。
小峰さんの化粧は私も気になるわね。
サッチンはいろんな金型を作る職人さんの間に生まれた娘だけあって、こういう細かい作業は大得意なはずなのよさ。
I see. Growing up around talented mechanical engineers might explain why Sachi can deal with a wide range of hands-on tasks so deftly.
もはや確認するまでもないわね。というわけでさっちゃん。
うまくできている自信はないのですが。
The instant Sachi timidly turns to face to Amani and the others, there are 4 simultaneous exclamations of pure shock, and then a long moment of silence. What's wrong? Rendered speechless by her skill? If she's done that great a job, I'd like to see for... I start to walk around the group to get a clear look at Sachi's face, but Amani quickly blocks my way. Why not exactly?
それはそのさっちゃんがかわいそうだから？なんでもないの。
For whatever reason, it seems this particular work isn't for my eyes.
皆さん、そんなに青い顔をされてどうされたんですか？
いや、それはほら。
なんというか。
これも化粧のせい？
なるほど。お化粧にはそんな効果もあるんですね。今度その方法も教えてほしいです。
そうね。あと私まだメイクの落とし方を教えてなかったから、とりあえずメイク落とそっか。
それは構わないのですが、まだ風見さんの感想が。
いいの。あいつにはまた今度見せればいいだけなんだからね。
欲しがる女は疎ましがられるものなのよ。
Get the fuck out of here, Machina. In the end, Sachi has been forcibly carted off stage. The exact circumstances remain something of a mystery, but one thing is perfectly clear. You can't take your eyes off our class rep for a second. Or shouldn't, at least. Incidentally, after this incident, Machina would never again express an interest in makeup. I mean, Machina's the type that's like that, Yuji. Let's be real.
ちょっとユージ、もうお弁当広げちゃったのにどこ行くのよ。
Nowhere in particular. Just thought I'd take a little walk to latitude 34 south, longitude 58 west or so. Fuck you, Yuji.
それってどこら辺になるんだっけ？
アルゼンチンな
昼休みにどこまで行く気やあんたは。
Everyone has their whimsical days, right? I'll get you a souvenir.
ほな、本場のドゥルセデレチェでも買うて食べや。
What the hell is dulce de leche? Such hurtful words. It's a weekday afternoon, and here I am walking out of a room to the jeers of a woman's spurn. Seems I may be something of a heartbreaker. I do appreciate that Amane is concerned about my nutrition, but the thing is, these meals have been getting out of hand lately. Just sitting back and watching the Engel coefficient going through the roof is growing increasingly awkward. The fuck is that, Yuji? Do I have to Google this shit? I might as well. Give me a sec. I'm pretty curious what that is. I think I probably Googled this back when I was first playing it too. Damn it, my phone! Sorry, my phone is really weird right now because my room is pretty cold, so they have those phantom touches. Let's see. Fuck is Engel coefficient? Coefficient. Engel's laws is an economic relationship proposed by the statistician Ernst Engel in 1857. The hell? Supports that households with lower incomes spend a larger proportion of their income on food than the ones with middle or higher income level. Food consumption typically makes up a great portion of the budget of a poor family, as the rich tend to spend greater portion of their income on other items. Okay. I see. So you've been eating a lot, basically. Oops. Guess I'll head to the rooftop. Anyway, today I feel like securing myself a place where I can eat in peace.
風見さん
On the roof, even if I eat plain rice balls with a side of baked beans or take a nice siesta, there shouldn't be anyone around to nag me.
風見さん風見さんねえゆうちゃん
Look, I told you to quit it with that name. I turn around and find myself confronting a cardboard creature. There's something resembling a maid uniform peeking out from below the massive boxes, but tragically, given my far from voluminous vocabulary, I can't think of a more appropriate nomenclator. Jesus, Yuji! Stop! Stop saying big words in your monologue.
今日はあまねさんたちとお昼を食べないんですか
Sorry, but I don't have any cardboard creatures among my acquaintances.
段ボール
If you're not a cardboard creature, then what are you?
確かに今の私は段ボールと言っても過言ではないかもしれません
That's what I'm saying.
ですが厳密に言うと段ボールではないと思います
That a fact. At a glance, you don't seem to be made of plastic.
いえ材質の話ではなく私はサチです小峰サチです
Now that you mention it, that voice does sound familiar.
忘れられたわけではないようで一安心です
That said, it's also possible that you're an imposter assuming the role of Sachi.
だとしたら FBI でしょうか
Yuji, you're just having fun, aren't you? I'm not even going to ask why you picked them in particular. Anyway, in order to confirm that you are neither a spy nor the incarnate avatar of cardboard, I'd like to ask you 2 or 3 questions.
バッチコイです
Excellent. Well then, the first question. Did you hear that nickname you just used from someone in particular?
あまねさんがそう呼べばユージは絶対返事するからと
Figured as much.
他に質問はありますか
Let's see. When's your birthday? 23rd September, okay, Yuji?
9月23日です
Sorry, Sachi. Come to think of it, I didn't know Sachi's birthday in the first place. Oh well. How about your blood type?
王と驚く大型です
Didn't know that either. Okay, how about the color of your underwear today?
白と青のストライプです
I see. Where do you keep the underwear in question when it's not in use?
部屋にあるチェストの1段目の引き出し手前側です
Fascinating as all this is, upon reflection, I haven't asked a single question that I can actually confirm the answer to. But judging from this unflinching aura of honesty, and the way every response somehow makes the guy asking the rude questions feel awkward, there's little doubt that this is the genuine article. Very well, I accept you as Sachi.
ありがとうございます。
With those polite words of thanks, the cardboard creature, or rather, Sachi, bows to me. So, I assume you're carrying all these cardboard boxes because someone asked you to.
はい、午後の授業で使う教材を多目的教室まで運んでいる途中です。
I see. And presumably, you changed into the maid uniform because you're more comfortable working in it. Either way, carrying this massive pile of boxes around must be quite difficult, even if the contents themselves are light. Yeah, this is one of two choices where you actually can help Sachi, which is kind of weird. Like I said, I think I said this previously on this choice, but if you don't help Sachi twice, or I don't remember, I think if you don't help her twice, the choice for her route is actually gone and you can't get into her route, I believe. And for some reason, you know that you choose correctly because every time you choose to help her, this music plays, which is very soothing, mind you. I've been listening to this again for quite a bit. Alright, how about I help out as well?
お気持ちはとても嬉しいのですが、これは私が頼まれた仕事ですし。
It's like even the author of this game somehow has a soft spot for Sachi or something. Because no one else has this, has like these choices for the routes or even the prompts that changes the BGM when you choose something right. I don't know. Might just be my mind wanting to think that because I do like Sachi myself. What, again with this? I understand that you feel a sense of responsibility, but it's not like anyone's saying that you have to get the job done all by yourself, right?
それはその通りなのですが。
You know, Yuji, that sort of mentality where you try to finish your job by yourself is something that I myself used to have quite a bit. It's something of a problem that I had to deal with myself, not wanting to reach out to people for help. Really bad habit. I'll take these. Preempting Sachi's response, I grab a few cardboard boxes from her towering stack and pull them away, revealing the girl behind. Maybe you're reluctant to bother me, but that's all the more reason to let me help out.
それはどういう意味でしょう?
In this situation, just watching my classmate totter off blindly would bother me a lot more than carrying a few boxes.
なるほどです。
Of course, if you think I just slow you down, I can reconsider.
それは心配いりません。私の体は風見さんを欲しています。
Wording, Sachi, wording. Wording! Maybe it is, but I think she could have put that in a slightly less weird way. In other words, you don't have any further objections.
はい。では、多目的教室までお願いします。
Yeah. Can I just pile the boxes up around here?
はい。そこで大丈夫だと思います。
After obtaining Sachi's confirmation, I stacked the cardboard boxes next to the teacher's podium. By the time I finished, Sachi has already opened a few of the boxes she was carrying, and is beginning to unpack the books and worksheets contained within. What? Did he ask you to put all this away as well?
いえ、その指示は受けていないですが、授業が始まれば必ず講師の方がやることになると思うので。
Seems she's deliberately going above and beyond the call of duty in order to make life easier for our instructors. You really are considerate about stuff like this.
いえ、そんなことはありません。
I think that's the last of it.
はい、風見さんのおかげで予定より早く終えることができました。ありがとうございます。
After we finally complete our work, Sachi straightens her posture and lowers her head to me in a polite bow. Not a big deal, but it seems we've only got another 10 minutes until the end of the lunch period.
風見さん、お昼は取らなくてもいいんですか?
Missing one meal isn't a problem for me. I was more thinking about you, Sachi. Can you get through the afternoon on an empty stomach?
私はここで食べようと思っていました。
That's all well and good, but what she plans to eat is something of a mystery to me. She isn't carrying anything like a lunchbox. Come to think of it, it's been a while now since I entered the school, but I don't think I've ever seen Sachi spread out her lunch at her desk. Incidentally, Sachi, do you bring your own lunchbox to school?
もしかして私の食生活が気になってしまいますか？
No. It's just that I don't think I've ever seen you eating in the classroom or anything.
それはおかしいです。私はちゃんと風見さんの前でお昼を食べていましたよ。
Really? If I remember correctly, you're always spending the lunch period reading something or writing in your notebook.
それは困りました。
She didn't say that.
もしかしたら風見さんは頭の中で萌え萌えキュン
What the fuck?
な小峰幸像を作り上げてしまっているのかもしれません。
The hell? What?
私、とどまることを知らない風見さんの想像力が怖いです。
No, Sachi, I think that's just the typical the typical way weebs think about girls. If the day ever comes that such a thought crosses my mind, I think that'll be the day I go bungee jumping off the roof of a tall building without a cord. What are you eating today then?
これです。
With those words, Sachi slowly reaches her hand inside her uniform at the bust. Hold it, Sachi. What do you think you're doing with that hand?
胸の谷間です。
The hell kind of a lunch fits between your breasts?
ですが、天音さんが以前、女の子のここは秘密のポケットなのよと言っていましたし。
She's really teaching you bad stuff, girl. What the hell? Does that woman intend to remake Sachi in her own image? Is this school going to end up as a facility for the mass production of Amane clones? Well, whatever. I'll close my eyes. If you're really taking something out of there, get it over with.
わかりました。
As Sachi nods, I close my eyes.
もういいですよ、風見さん。
When I open them again, Sachi's holding a rectangular biscuit of some sort in her hand. Some kind of off-the-shelf portable rations?
いえ、買ってきたものではなく手作りです。
This is your work?
はい、オーブンレンジさえあれば割と簡単に作れるので。
Well, I guess so. At a glance, it doesn't seem to be much more than a baked lump of wheat flour and butter. I see. These are certainly compact enough that a lunchbox isn't necessary.
しかも本を読みながらでもお掃除をしながらでも食べられます。とても便利です。
That would explain why I don't have any recollection of her spreading out a lunch on her desk, but if you're eating this stuff every day, isn't your diet going to be pretty poorly balanced? What do you do for vitamins?
それを解決するために各種サプリメントを砕いて混ぜ込んだものをこちらに用意してあります。
Very smart. Right on cue, she produces a number of brightly colored shortbread biscuits for my inspection. I feel as though I'm watching a baking segment on some particularly deranged cooking show.
右からセサミ、マルチビタミン、ベジタブル、赤マムシです。
As weird as that sounds, that's actually pretty ingenious. I'm a little curious about what you've got in the one named after a poisonous snake. But first of all, are these things tasty?
そうですね。フランス軍個人用戦闘糧食並みの味にはなっていると思います。
I come perilously close to asking her whether she's ever actually eaten an RCIR, but managed to restrain myself at the last moment.
よければ風見さんも食べますか？
You have enough to share?
はい、簡単にたくさん用意できるので急なお客様への対応もバッチリです。
I'm sure the housewives of the world will be overjoyed to hear of your discovery.
ちなみに今朝焼いたサクサクくんと1日寝かせたしっとりさん、どちらがいいですか？
I'll take Mr. Moisachi, if it was me. What an excruciatingly difficult choice. The two of us sit on the teacher's platform in the otherwise empty classroom, biting into our homemade shortbread. There isn't anything logically wrong with our actions under the circumstances, but for some reason, this feels less like a school lunch and more like a chow break in the middle of a long march to the battlefield. As I'm pondering these matters, Asachi continues to silently and steadily carry her food to her mouth. Maybe it's because I've been eating with Amane and Makina a lot lately, but something about this situation feels oddly unsatisfactory. So, enjoying that?
はい、今日の分も美味しく焼けていると思います。
Hey, come on, Yuji. You eat like baked beans and rice balls. Come on. This is actually ingenious. Don't say this is bad. Come on, man. Can you really say this is bad after what you're eating? Yeah, I'm impressed. Put these on a shelf and I think they could pass for something from a bakery.
恐縮です。
Hmm? When I glance over, I notice that Sachi is currently chewing on a biscuit specked with pebbly black bits. What flavor is that one?
ペパメベフ。
Fuck. Sesame, eh? Looks pretty decent.
食べてみますか？
With those words, she casually sticks her face in my direction, the half-eaten shortbread biscuit dangling out of her mouth. Okay, well, if some woman sitting on a park bench next to me suddenly pulled this sort of a stunt, I would probably interpret it as an indicative of a severe chemical imbalance. But we're talking about Sachi here. I doubt she's even aware of how weird this might seem. Most likely, she simply doesn't have any more of the sesame biscuits to share. Are you seriously telling me to take a bite like this?
食べると？
My younger classmate offering me a half-eaten biscuit directly from her mouth softly mumbles, "Don't you want some?" Usually this would be a pretty saccharine sweet situation, but when she's this completely nonchalant about the whole thing, the mood is pretty much non-existent. Fine, close your eyes at least. This'll be awkward otherwise.
風見さん、見かけによらずウブですね。ちょっと意外です。
Or maybe you're just bizarrely indifferent. Ever think of that? As I'm offering my attempt at a retort, Sachi gently closes her eyes. I take a bite off the biscuit, carefully leaving a decent buffer zone. The familiar nutty flavor of sesame instantly spreads across my tongue.
どうですか？個人的にはかなりおすすめのフレーバーなのですが。
Opening her eyes, Sachi asks for my thoughts in a tone of keen curiosity. Yeah, not bad at all. The simple, familiar taste of the biscuit, for one thing. The up-close view of Sachi with her eyes closed, for another, I don't think I can complain on either account. Those are my honest thoughts.
風見さんにも気に入ってもらえてよかったです。
Now that I think about it, I've known Sachi a while now, and I didn't even know about her unusual lunch habits, let alone her birthday. It seems my knowledge of my classmates is even shallower than I realized.
風見さん。
When I look to my side, Sachi's watching me with an anxious expression on her face.
もしかしてあまりお口に合いませんでしたか？
No, I think I would classify your shortbread as tasty. As portable food goes, I've eaten plenty of truly vile field rations. It would be rude to even compare real military food to this mild, pleasant stuff.
それにしては怖いくらいに真剣な顔をされていましたけど。
I should be used to it by now, but Sachi's perceptiveness still takes me by surprise at times.
もし洗濯物や掃除のことで悩んでいるなら私でもお力になれると思いますが。
No, domestic chores aren't involved.
では。
Well, to make it short, I was thinking that I'd like to become better friends with you, Sachi.
もしかして私今夜のお誘いを受けたのでしょうか？
No. No, damn it. What?
仲良くするという言葉にはそういう意味が含まれている場合があると本で学んだ記憶があります。
I mean, you're not wrong, but you're reading too much into this. I should be used to it by now, but Sachi's talent for seriously warped misinterpretations of my words still takes me by surprise at times. Yes, sometimes there can be a nuance like that. That's not what I meant just now. Look, we're classmates, right? I just thought it might be nice to learn a little more about you eventually. That's all.
なるほど、そういう意味だったんですか。
Yeah.
それなら私も風見さんと仲良くしたいです。
That a fact.
はい。
There's a natural smile on Sachi's face as she speaks. If one of my classmates can speak those words to me with an expression like that, maybe I've begun to find a place for myself in this school. When I glance back at Sachi, she's already returned her attention to her meal. She's our class representative and the quiet peacemaker of our group. But above all else, she's something of an unpredictable girl. I'm aware that I don't understand her very well. Even so, I fully meant what I said to her just now. Everyone at this school may be a special case, but surely a little mutual understanding isn't too much to hope for. Anyway, thanks for the meal. Unfortunately, even as I mumbled these words to myself, Amani's unwieldy mass of a lunch lay in ambush, awaiting my return. Michiru's crooning nasally to herself. It's not particularly pleasant to listen to, but then again, humming is one of the few forms of musical expression that exists solely for the satisfaction of the performer. Sometimes it's a natural outflowing of happiness in a moment of relaxation, but at other times, it's an attempt to calm the nerves in a moment of crushing stress. I don't know which psychological state has given rise to Michiru's song, but I do know how I can subtly manipulate her mood. What the fuck? You're evil, damn it, Yuji! I sneak up behind Michiru and softly synchronize my voice with her song. And now I begin to gradually alter the melody, keeping every individual change small enough that she won't catch on. Ha-nya-nya-nya. Nya-nya-nya. Nya-nya-nya. What the fuck is wrong with this? What is wrong with you, Yuji? Jesus Christ. Michiru spins around, flustered. Her face reveals sheer, uncomprehending bewilderment. By slowly changing my upbeat melody into a grim funeral march, I guided her own song down the same dark path. But my victim clearly doesn't realize this was my doing. Yo, something the matter?
いや、どうもしてないんだけど、明るい気持ちだったのに、すごく陰鬱な方向に引っ張られたような気がして。
Oh, that's a pity.
あんた、何もしてないわよね。
Anything? Who, me? Like what?
何もしてない。
Despite its inherently subtle nature, subliminal manipulation of this sort can dramatically influence human behavior through its effects on the subconscious. For example, I could persistently hold eye contact with Michiru as we speak. This can be mildly intimidating in its own right, but the effect increases significantly when I wait for her to blink before doing the same. By quickly opening my eyelids before her, Michiru would soon be under the illusion that I never blink. What's more, it's very rare for anyone to consciously notice this is taking place. Instead, a nagging sense of unease grows in the back of their mind. Use enough of these tricks and outright psychological manipulation is possible. But this time, the humming game proves sufficient for my objective of screwing with Michiru.
なんだか調子狂っちゃうわね。
Yeah, sorry about that.
なんであんたが謝るのよ。やっぱり何かしたの。
You really have to be more specific. What are you accusing me of?
それがわからないから困ってるんでしょ。とにかく許さないからね。
Michiru jabs her forefinger in my direction, her eyes smoldering with aggression. Why get so bent out of shape over something like this?
別に四角じゃないわよ。普通でしょ、普通。
True, but that's not a good thing. You know, someone once said that relationships are like a mirror.
自分の態度が相手に反映されるってこと？
Yes, that's how mirrors usually work. Your approach seems to involve repeatedly bashing your head against the glass. Planning to go to Looking Glass Land? Just so you know, Humpty Dumpty is currently sitting in a carton in my fridge.
何？どういう意味？よくわかんないんだけど。
Alright, I'll give you the short version. Michiru, you tend to treat others with all the friendliness and charm of a lollipop-sucking brat who's just been denied a new toy.
これは私の性格だから仕方ないじゃない。もう直しようがないのよ。
I suppose not.
そうよ、仕方ないのよ。 あんまりそういうこと言うとローリングそばっとするわよ。
The hell is this sobat? Michiru's shadow boxes in my general direction while making little kapow sounds. Seems she has no idea what a rolling sobat actually is.
素直になる訓練をするのよさ。
マキナ。
チルチルは確かにツンデレだけど素直になったらきっと可愛い女の子になると思うのよ。というわけで素直になる特訓をしたらいいと思うのよさ。
そんなの嫌よ。私は私でいたいの。
Training is it? What do you have in mind?
ちょっと聞いてる？無視しないでよね。
マイナスとマイナスをかけるとプラスになるでしょ。だから素直じゃない2人をくっつければ素直になると思うのよさ。
Machina, my friend, you seem to have equated numerical multiplication with sticking people together. Are you sure the same rule applies? The same rules apply.
それはいいの。というわけでユミちゃんとチルチルをくっつけてみればいいのよさ。
Are you planning on literally tying them to each other with a rope or what? Might prove a little tricky. I suppose gluing them together with phenolic resin is also an option.
そういうことなのよさ。ではチルチルには悪いけどちょっと気絶してもらうのよ。
Machina swiftly circles behind Michiru and delivers a sharp karate chop to the back of her neck.
あり？
ちょっと何すんの？めっちゃ痛いんだけど。
いやテレビとかだとこれで気絶するのよさ。おかしいな。
Man, if I was in Michiru's shoes, I'd probably be mad at Machina.
おかしいのはあんたでしょ。いきなり首の後ろをチョップしてもし気絶でもしたらどうするのよ。
They're making this into a comedy routine, but Machina really does some questionable stuff at times, you know?
いやだからそれが目的で。あ、空飛ぶ円盤。
え、どこに？
や
だから何なの？
おかしいな。
Michiru, I'm growing curious about this Yao Che you keep mentioning. Friend of yours? The fuck?
痛いってことよ。首に衝撃が走るとなぜか蛇行になるのよ。っていうかユージ、あんたマキナを止めなさいよね。
あ、空飛ぶんでげ。
んでげって何？
やったか。
あんたいい加減にしなさいよね。
Damn, her screeches though are super loud. I mean, I get that's the character she's supposed to play, but my god.
おかしいな。ねえねえ、なんでテレビみたいに気絶しないの？
That's pure fiction. You're not going to knock anyone out that way unless you get the angle absolutely perfect. Even then, misjudge the force and you can end up doing irreversible damage. It's not something you should try at home.
そうなのか。それはチルチルに悪いことしたのよさ。
I mean, I don't know how truthful that is, but I know for a fact that, yeah, you don't really chop someone at the back of the neck to pass them out. That can be pretty dangerous. Well, I guess I could have been quicker about telling you myself.
首の後ろがズキズキする。
そうだ。あっちの方法は？
Easiest for you to pass someone out is probably at the chin, Machina. You know, the... What do you call it in boxing? Uppercut, right? Well, I'm sure you've heard that a blow to the abdomen can be particularly effective, but...
やあ、溝落ちパンチ。うぼー。
But as I said, you shouldn't attack someone's vital points for no good reason. You're running the risk of causing lasting harm.
おー、チルチル、顔が真っ青になってるのよさ。それどうやんの？
Yeah, Machina, I don't know, man. I know her antics are definitely comedic in some way, right? I think when I was playing this back then too, I wasn't really paying too much attention to what she was doing. But, you know, now I have a more... What is it? A more normal brain, you can say. So I can definitely see how Makina's actions are negative. A lot of negative. Kind of puts her down in my ranking a tiny bit, as far as character goes. Now, Makina, it's not as though Michiru intentionally drained all color from her face. She's simply experiencing temporary breathing problems as a result of a sharp impact to her abdomen. Don't you have something to say to her?
あ、そっか。チルチル、ごめんよ。
I think she's trying to tell us something. As she isn't currently capable of speech, we should read her lips.
別に謝ってほしいわけじゃないんだからね。と言ってるのよ
Oh,
さ。
sorry. Even under violent torture, her tsundere spirit remains unbroken. You must admit, the girl has guts.
ズハーいい加減にしなさいよね。なんでグーで腹パンしてんのよ。おらしき
Yeah, no, don't worry, Michiru. I do feel sorry for you, for the constant abuse.
そうじゃないのよさ。私はただチルチルに素直になってほしくて、そうしたら可愛い女の子になるんじゃないかなって。
私はこれでやってるんだから邪魔しないでよね。
どうかなさいましたか？
サッチー、それがね、チルチルが気絶してくれなくて困っているのよさ。
気絶？後遺症が残ってもいいのであればではあるけど。
Unfortunately, we do mind. Come on, Makina. You've given her a pretty good beating already. I hardly think there's any need to render her unconscious, is there?
いやいや、気絶してロープで縛る。それが今のチルチルには必要なの。なんもかわいそうなことはないの。むしろいいことなのよさ。
いいこと？なるほど。それなら気絶させなくちゃいけないね。
そうなのよ。サッチン、頼むのよさ。
何よ。
後遺症はダメだから。
Sachi stares fixedly at Michiru, apparently puzzling over the best way to make her faint. Of course, Sachi's defining characteristic is her willingness to use any means necessary to achieve her ends, as Michiru is well aware.
ではここは一つバールのようなものでこじ開けてみましょう。
Sachi, please don't do this.
どこ？私のどこ？
頭です。では皆さん少々お待ちください。バールのようなものを用意させていただきますので、そうすれば激しい痛みできっと気絶するはずです。あれ？何もしていないのに気絶してしまいました。
Michiru lies collapsed on the floor, her nose twitching in terror. Seems she took it upon herself to lose consciousness before someone violently took it from her. A prudent choice from the perspective of damage minimization. Sachi, Michiru's kindly rendered herself unconscious for us, so I think the crowbar-esque tool is no longer necessary.
はい、そうですね。では私はここで失礼させていただきます。
Before you go, I've got a quick question.
はい、何でしょうか。
When you said crowbar-esque, what were you thinking of specifically?
それは、バールです。
だったらバールでいいのよさ。なんでのようなものを付け足すの？
出るかなと思いまして雰囲気が。それでは失礼いたし
What
ます。
does that even mean, Sachi? I see. A crowbar is certainly crowbar-esque.
長年の疑問は解けたけど、なんだか釈然としないのよさ。
We're not here to satisfy your curiosity, Makina. Damn, Makina, you're actually getting lower than Michiru, I think, at this point in time, because of just how what is it? How selfish she is compared to the other girls. I mean, it's not directed towards Yuji. That's probably why I wasn't really thinking too much about it back when I was playing this 10 years ago. But the fact that she's doing this to other people rubs me the wrong way too. Alright, what do we do with Michiru now that she's unconscious?
ひとまずロープで縛ってみるのよさ。ロープロープ。
はい、ジュート縄。
ありがとう。
縛るときに縄の表面がトゲトゲして痛くないようにちゃんと蜜蝋でなめしてあるから大丈夫だよ。それじゃあね。
That girl's ready for anything. I have to admit, I didn't expect her to have specialty BDSM ropes lying around.
サチは用意周到すぎてたまに怖くなるのよさ。ではぐるぐるのぐるぐるポリポリのポリポリ。
Well, this is pretty nice work. Rope bondage over the clothes has its own refined flavor. And you've got a quite respectable tortoiseshell pattern all over the bust here.
結構ほどけないように念入りに縛ったらたまたまこの形になったのよさ。
You produced this fine piece of work without even realizing you were doing it? You must have seen the pattern somewhere. Either way, I think you have a definite talent for this. Might be a potential career path.
そうかな。嬉しいのよさ。それじゃあユミちゃんを探してくっから待ってて。
Makina runs off somewhere, leaving me alone in the hallway with Michiru, who's tightly bound from head to foot in an intricately crisscrossed web of jute ropes. Jute? I don't know. Come to think of it, I thought tying her to Sakaki was the whole point.
ちょっとあんた
What's up, Tortoise? I thought you were supposed to be unconscious at the moment.
これびっくりするぐらい恥ずかしいですけど
Yeah, I guess it would be. I don't think many students would have the guts to engage in tortoiseshell-style rope bondage in the hallways of their own school.
場所の問題じゃなくてねえこれほどいてよ
You sure about that? Once Makina gets back, she'll just call Sachi again. That seems problematic in its own way.
そうだけどこんな格好あんたに見られてるのも嫌なの
So you'd like me to untie you after all?
ほどいて早くほどいて
Oh, you're being awfully polite and straightforward about your feelings.
ほどいてほしいわけじゃないんだからねだから早くほどきなさい
Ah, humankind's lot is a sad one. Our lives are full of paradoxes.
早くしなさいよね
ユミちゃんいたから連れてきた。
何？どういうこと？
これはその
松島さん、そういう趣味があったの？
違うのそうじゃないの誤解なの
言い訳できるような状態じゃないと思うんだけど。
本当に誤解なのねえユージそうでしょあんたからも何か言ってよ
風見くん、これもしかしてあなたがやったの？
Nope, this happens to be Makina's work. Seems she's something of an expert.
イリスさんが？
Yeah, after tormenting Michiru's body at length, Makina gave her a few final blows, then finished things off by tying her up nice and tight.
そんな趣味の上に女同士で。
違うわよユージなんでそんな誤解を招くような言い方を
イリスさん、それは本当なの？
何度も叩いた後に縛ってやったのよさ。
I mean, this is still a funny scene, but I really am not going to forgive you for this, Makina. You are definitely one selfish girl.
そう。その個人の趣味にとやかく言うつもりはないけど、公共の場所では遠慮してほしいわ。ここは学校でしょ。
Sakaki's got a point. I have to agree.
ユージ
それじゃ失礼するわね。
待って誤解だからねえユミコ榊さんマキナさんこれ ほどいていただけませんでしょうか。
あ、素直になってる。すごい。私の考えは間違っていなかったのよさ。
Congratulations, Makina. You flip her psychological switch. At long last, the true Michiru has broken free of her tsundere shell.
あ、はい。その早く縄をほどいてください。
さあチルチル、これからは素直な人生を送るのよさ。
まずユミコに説明してくる。マキナ、あんたへの説教はそれからよ。坂木さん、誤解なの。誤解なんだってば。
あれ、思ったより素直になってなかったのよさ。
You probably left too much slack in those ropes. Next time, tighten them up until you leave nice deep marks on her wrists, alright? Get her rope drunk and I'm willing to bet she'll become a lot more obedient.
縄酔いって何？
Oh, you'll know it when you see it.
わかったのよさ。縄酔いさせる。
And thus, Makina demonstrated a brief glimpse of her hidden potential as a BDSM artist. But after Michiru's vigorous scolding, she would never again put that ability to use. I watched the promising glimmer of her rising talent slowly, quietly fade away, never to realize its true potential, but couldn't really bring myself to care. The end.
ちょっと変なこと言わないの。どういうつもりよ。
Weren't you all trying to clear your name with Sakaki?
それより先にあんたに文句があんの。何よさっきの独り言は。
Was I off base? You are planning to scold Makina, right?
するけど、その私のせいで才能の目が積まれたみたいな表現やめてよね。
Ah, sorry about that.
本当に最低なんだけど。
But then again, didn't it feel really good when she finally untied the ropes?
はあ、気持ちいいわけないでしょ。バカじゃないの。
He's just trying to manipulate you, Michiru. God damn it, you're not supposed to take this seriously. Really? All that stagnant blood, laboring to circulate through your body under the pressure of the ropes, suddenly surged freely through your veins. I think that must have produced at least a light euphoria, as a physiological phenomenon. I myself once experienced a wave of indescribable pleasure just from loosening the belts on my arms after a pressure training session.
そんなことわかんないわよ。バカバカバカ。M じゃないからね。M じゃないもん。
I didn't say you were. You're overthinking this.
今度あんたのことを縛ってやる。
I see. So you're a sadist.
バカ変態。
What a hopelessly confused individual. Can't even figure out her own sexual preferences. I think that's not really the problem, Yuji, but alright. A surprising number of people believe human beings were literally made by the hand of God. They reject the idea that our species evolved from apes as irreconcilable with their dogma. There's also a slightly less fundamentalist group that drops the religious language, but believes that some greater power must have guided the creation of humanity. This intelligent design theory might seem like pseudo-scientific window dressing aimed at confusing the issue, but personally, I can't dismiss their arguments so easily. Mainly because I find it very difficult to believe that millions of years of natural selection could have produced someone like my master. A designer with a nasty sense of humor seems far more plausible. If that woman happened to dig up a mysterious monolith from the depths of Jupiter, she would have probably taken it back to her kitchen and used it as a cutting board. What sort of evolutionary process could have produced her? My master sat cross-legged on my back as I labored through my daily set of push-ups. "Let there be light," she said, and lit her cigarette. Next, I heard a metallic pop, followed by the hissing release of carbon dioxide. "Let there be beer," she muttered, and downed the can in one gulp. You know, there's a lot of guys who say they don't want to become cogs in a machine. Thing is though, nobody's irreplaceable. There's always somebody else who can do what you do. That's fair? Thinking you're special is like walking around wearing a big fucking shiny polka dot bow tie. It's obnoxious for one thing. and it's only gonna cause you grief. No shame in being a cog. Machine doesn't work without him. For the most part, the guys who figure that out are the ones who turn out decent and manage to stay that way. What are decent people like anyway? You and me, kid. Don't know many others. At the very least, we're a hell of a lot better than the ones pulling the strings. We all need our role in the machine. That's a fact everyone has to face eventually. You can't just crawl into a nice dark shoebox, cuddle an air freshener for 70 years and call it a life. We only take shape in relation to others. Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth, said my master, tossing nutshells into the distance, a sour excuse for a smile on her face. People can do whatever the hell they want. If they prefer to live in the shoebox, if that's really what makes them happy, who am I to say?
さっちゃんってば遅いわね。
What's wrong? Something up with Sachi? Though then again, if it was someone who I dearly hold, I probably would have tried to change their perspective. But, people are free to do whatever they want. As long as they're not hurting anyone, for the most part, I couldn't care less.
それがね、さっちゃんにお買い物頼んだんだけど全然帰ってこないの。
Did I read this? I actually don't think I read this. What's wrong? Something up with Sachi?
あんまり売ってないアイスを頼んだから遠くまで買いに行ってたら悪いなって思って。
By limiting the shipments to stores, they manufacture artificial shortages, creating the impression of overwhelming consumer demand. The limited availability builds hype, turning the product into a genuine hit. Classic pattern.
メーカーの戦略もあるかもしれないけど本当に美味しいんだってば。私好きで切らさないようにしてたんだけどうかつにもストックが底をついちゃってね。黒ごまプリタツアイスクリーンちゃん。
Never heard of it.
でしょうね。ユージは食べることにあんまり興味ないもんね。
Way I see it, there are two varieties of food in the world. The type that's necessary for survival, and the type that isn't.
ちゃんとしたご飯も食べないわけじゃないのにね。さっぱりしてるわね。
I'm just saying, fulfilling the basic nutritional requirements comes first. If the meal happens to taste decent, so much the better. But that's a secondary concern.
もうあんたたちまた私の噂話してたでしょ。まったく迷惑なのよ。やめなさいよね。でも私もあんたたちのこと考えてたんだけどさ。
Michio, we're not really talking about you at all, but alright.
よし、今のでツンデレ完璧。
We're always told that unique individuals are valued by society for their outside-the-box thinking or whatever. Fact is, though, if you're too different from the rest of the pack, you're just going to get shunned and pushed outside the loop. Perhaps Michiro mistook the polite fiction for the way the world really works, and concluded it would be wise to become as unique as humanly possible. If so, the girl is a sad byproduct of the mealy-mouthed times in which we live. You know, I actually used to think I wanted to become unique myself. Maybe not as unique as Michiro, but there are times when I do think in a similar pattern. When I was younger, though. Not much now. You're a victim too, in a way. Hang in there, kid.
私何の被害にも遭ってませんけど。やめてよね、そういうの。それはともかく黒ごまプリタツアイスクリーンちゃんの話してなかった？
そうそう、みちるも知ってる？
Why is Amane's voice a lot louder than everyone
音量の
else?
設定をします。
No, everyone is at full volume. Why does her voice sound so much louder, I think? Yeah, I put Sachi as my system voice. I'm never gonna change that.
当然じゃないの。あまねあれ好きでしょ。実は私の
そう好きだからさっちゃんに買いに行ってもらってるの。
買いに？そうなの。そう、それは楽しみね。それじゃあ私はこの辺で。
Hold on there, Michiro. Aren't you going to finish that sentence? You've got a pretty nice what? Stamp collection? Stap infection? Stap infection collection?
そんなこと言ってないわよ。 私のヘアスタイルどうって聞きたかっただけよ。そうよ、ヘアスタイルの話がしたかったの。
Oh, was that it? Your hairstyle. It's exactly the same as always.
ちょっとユージってば分かってないわね。女の子が自分からそういうことを言い出すってことは少し髪を変えたってことじゃない。そうね。前髪切った？
いや、髪の毛は一切変えてないです。
じゃあなんでヘアスタイルの話したのよ。変わってないのに。
それは今日も変わらず高水準なツインテールをキープしていて偉いから褒めなさいってことよ。
I'm willing to bet that Sachi does that for you.
違うわよ。そうだけど、でも私を褒めなさい。
Understood. I will now compliment you. In the process of maturation from infancy, human beings gain the motor skills necessary to make use of muscles previously beyond their control. That newfound ability to freely run around is so enjoyable that many toddlers can't sit still. The majority of children go through a phase of hyperactivity and fidgety impatience as they revel in the control of their bodies. The next step in the process of maturation involves developing the ability to restrain the impulse for restless movement. Self-control, in other words. Accordingly, the fact that you can sit still long enough to have your hair tied up is proof that you aren't a child. You're a big girl now. Awesome job. I'm very proud of you.
それって逆に子供扱いしてない？もうやんなっちゃう。バカ。
みちるってば何がしたかったのかしら。
Haven't you given up trying to understand by now?
サンサンサフランライスサフランライスのおまんじゅう。
The hell? Just when we've rid ourselves of the noisy blonde, someone singing like a drunken sailor arrives in her stead. If anyone's looking for an actress to play a siren whose voice drives men to dash their ships against the rock out of sheer irritation, I think I found a very suitable candidate.
陽気にアメリカンな感じにしてみようかしら。ベンジャミンさん、アメリカ生まれのおまんじゅう。これも違う。やっぱり一人じゃ難しいのよさ。
If I stay here, I'm going to get caught up in something troublesome. This calls for a subtle but immediate evasive action. I begin to quietly inch backward along the lobby floor.
ちょっと待って、どこに行こうとしてるの？
No matter how subtle one's movements may be, the intent to escape is truly difficult to hide.
さすがにわかるわよ。明らかに逃げようとしてるじゃない。
I'm proficient at camouflage, concealment, and deception. But clearly, stealth under zero cover conditions is a different beast entirely. I'll have to make this a subject for future study.
ねえあまね、サッチン知らない？さっきから探してるんだけど、どこにもいないのよさ。
あー、ごめんね。私がお買い物頼んでて外出中なの。
そうなの？なんだよ、サッチンにお願いしようとしたのに、これじゃあ計画が台無しなのよさ。
Why didn't... Sorry.
もう先真っ暗なのよ。
Why didn't Amane just buy the ice cream herself? That's my question right now.
そんなに落ち込まなくても。
Maybe she just doesn't wanna wait in line. It's such a popular item. Was it really that important a request? I'm with Amane on this one. You're going a little overboard with the melodrama.
落ち込むのよさ。だって
I think she said Uma, which is horse. I don't know why it's translated as zebras.
じゃあこうしましょう。さっちゃんが戻ってくるまで手伝ってあげる。だから元気出して。
I think you may come to regret making that offer.
だってマキナがこんなに弱ってるなんてよっぽどのことじゃない。一肌脱がなきゃ。
Your problem, not mine, Amane. Alright, whatever you say.
ほらマキナ、手伝えることがあるなら言って。
だって
もうちょっと大きい声でお願い。
歌って、私のために歌って。
何それ、どういうこと？
さっき視聴覚室でテレビ番組のアーカイブライブラリを何気なく見てたのよさ。そしたらおまんじゅう屋さんのオリジナル CM ソングを作って豪華商品を当てようキャンペーンというのをやってたのよ。
Well, that explains the bizarre pastry themed song you were working on earlier.
頑張って作ってみたんだけど音楽なインテリジェンスを感じられなくて、もっと魂が震えるような曲じゃなくちゃダメなのよ。こうなったらサッチンに頼もうと思ったのに出払ってるって言うじゃないのよさ。だから代わりにあまねえ歌ってっていうか歌えよ。
いや、さすがにそんなこと急に言われても困るんだけど、オリジナル曲なんてすぐには作れないんじゃないかな。
やだ CM ソングすぐ作って。私豪華商品を切望してるのよ。
Yeah, if I was Yuji, I would just be long gone right now. Damn it! Machina! Man, her selfishness knows no bounds. What's this prize you're so desperate to get your hands on? A postcard with the word winner stamped on the back?
そんなしょぼいものじゃないのよ。聞いて驚け。なんと商品は夢のシマウマ1年分。応募はインターネットで。
Okay, Shima Uma might be zebras, I'm not sure. I think Shima is like, crossed? Not crossed, striped, right? Because I know Shima Unimon. I watch my fair share of Digimon, man.
シマウマ1年分？それって本当？
溢れてるね。夢渦巻くよね。よくゼブラだよね。シマ。
I'm assuming it's pretty hard to raise a zebra in a normal household, so that price seems really unnatural for a contest advertised to the general public. In the first place, what does a year's worth mean? How many animals?
何が不自然か。大自然のライオンさん一家などでしたら喉から手が出るほど欲しがるのよさ。
I think she just misheard the price, really. So it's 1 year's worth of zebra in the all-you-can-eat sense? Not sure how many lions should have seen that program, though. And do you really think they can handle submitting their applications online?
もちろん。メールアドレスはライオン@110の .com。 肉球で文字が打ちにくいのが唯一の弱点。
Imani, I'm getting the feeling that Makina may have misheard somewhat.
私もそう思う。ねえマキナ、どんな内容だったか覚えてる？再現して説明してみて。
もちろんなのよさ。というわけでボンボレまんじゅう店の CM ソングを募集してます。最も素晴らしい歌を作ってくださった視聴者の方には快適なフライトでゆっくりお楽しみください。アイスランドでオーロラ見放題、株式会社ナイスフライトツーリストよりシマウマ1年分をプレゼントしますと言っていたのよさ。
Makina, listen up.
何？
Sorry, was that something with the mic? I don't know. I think I heard something there. I don't think they actually said 1 year's worth of zebras at the end there. Maybe something like an Aurora viewing air trip to Iceland instead. Just guessing.
お？あ、そうか。確かに言ってた。シマウマのこと考えながら番組見てたからついうっかり。
どんな種類のうっかりなの？全然違う。
ちょっと間違えちゃったね。一言も島も馬も言ってなかったのよさ。
Well then, the prize has shifted from zebras to auroras. Still interested in making a song for the contest?
馬に比べてロラではちょっとテンション上がんないけど、まあ作ってやってみてもいいかな。ハクションハクション。もうあんたたちまた私の噂話してたでしょ。何度言えば。
Oh, sorry.
でも 私も寂しくてこうして戻ってきたん。いえ、なんでもないわ。
Man, you're so annoying, Michiru. Man, these two girls are so annoying. God damn it.
今の言葉は忘れてちょうだい。いやさ、忘れないでいいのよ。だが忘れて。よし、やっぱ完璧。
Okay, so about the song.
ちょい、なんで無視するのよ。おかしいでしょ。
Sorry, but more than a tsundere, you're coming off as a blithering idiot with a pathological inability to make up her mind. Can't you be a little more subtle about this?
そんなに不自然だった？もっとナチュラルにいかなきゃ。身も心も。
Amani's eyes flash as she watches Michiru Babylon. Even before she speaks, I can tell that she's decided to offer the perplexed girl forth as a sacrificial lamb.
ねえねえマキナ、せっかくだからミチルに作ってもらえば？何を？
なるほど。チルチルに歌わせるっていうのはいいアイディアなのよさ。
歌う？何なのよ歌うって。
それじゃあ今からオーディションするから、脱いだ服はそこのカゴに入れてほしいのよさ。
そこにカゴはないでしょ。そもそもどうして私が脱がなきゃいけないのよ。さらに言えば何のオーディションなのよ。謎が謎を呼んじゃってるじゃないの。それじゃあミチル、謎はあんたに任せたから頑張ってね。ちょっと待ってよ。何をどう頑張るの？
歌よ歌を頑張ってほしいのよさ。
歌を歌えばいいの？私が？
そうなのよさ。チルチルもロラに興味あるでしょ。
ロラ？
そう、ロラ。馬じゃなくてロラ。わかる？
もちろんわかるわよ。馬じゃない方のロラでしょ。知ってるに決まってるじゃない。そうね、あれはね、すごく興味あるわね。
Michiru, please, damn it.
だよね。ビラビラーンってしてるしね。
Man, Machina, as I don't know if it's what is it? If it's unconscious or like if she's doing this consciously, but she's pretty good at manipulating Michiru. I mean, I can't deny that back when I was younger too, I would probably say something along the lines of what Michiru is saying. When I don't understand something, I would try to play it off as if I know what people were talking about. But it's kind of easy to notice when you're like Michiru. At least I don't know if people notice it when I was doing it, but I was trying to be very subtle when I don't really understand what they're talking about, but I played off as if I understand it.
ビラ、そうね、ビラビラよね。そこがいいのよね。
そこがいいの？
そこが、そうよ。そこがいいのよ。ビラビラがいいのよ。
ねえチルチル、本当にロラのこと分かってる？
分かってるに決まってるでしょ。むしろ隠してたけど、私こそがロラですもの。じゃーん。
チルチルってロラだった
の？そうよ。チルチルのロラはビラビラだったのよ。なんだかすごい抵抗あるフレーズなんだけど。
I'll be going now if you don't mind.
ダメに決まってるでしょ。もうちょっととどまっていなさい。
I hate you, Michiru. Just listening to this conversation is giving me a serious headache. But if you insist, I guess I'll endure it for a little longer.
じゃあチルチルはロラだけど、ロラのためにオリジナルソングを歌うのよ
さ。そうね、ロラのためにオリジナル。そうね、歌わないとね。歌うわよ。しっかり聞いてなさいよね。そういえば私、昨日からオリジナルソングの一つでも作って一発歌いたい気分だったのよ。ちょうどいいタイミングだったわ。
I kinda get Michiru's personality though. I guess she just really wants to subtly care for these people. Or, you know, I guess you can call them her friends, I guess.
それじゃあ歌うわよ。そうだ。あんたたちのために歌ってあげるわけじゃないんだからね。
Can't do without the formalities, however utterly pointless that they may be.
ではでは。拍手ぐらいしなさいよ。
パチパチ。
ではでは。どんな感じの歌詞がいいの？
甘さが伝わるやつがいいのよさ。
甘いのね。わかったわ。
Michiru, do you really understand? When she says sweetness, it's because this song is for a pace.
ちょっと黙ってて。今歌詞考えてるから。よし、できた。聞くわよ。ではではでは。いずれドリーミン、私の心はマイハー。
I don't know why that English is like that. I have no idea what the hell is a corazon.
放課後あなたを待ってる体育館の裏。好きキスやだやだウォンチュー。憧れちゃうのよ南風からの東風。最終的に無風。
ポカーン。
歌い切ったわね。
Michiru, my friend.
何よ、これで満足したでしょ。
At least she's playing along. I have to applaud Michiru for this. My apologies. It seems our explanation was insufficient. We needed you to come up with an advertising jingle for a pastry manufacturer called Bonbore.
Eh?
You see, the company is trying to find a song for their next commercial, with an Aurora viewing tour as the grand prize. Makina's hoping to win a contest. That was the whole point of this entire exercise. When Makina asked you for lyrics expressive of sweetness, she wanted you to describe the flavor of a manju bun, not come up with saccharine pseudo-poetry. Accordingly, the original song you just offered us was an utter waste of effort. You have covered yourself in disgrace, and the world would be a happier place if none of this had ever happened. My condolences.
恥ずかしすぎる。ローラってオーロラのことだったの知ってたけど。
もうそんな変な歌じゃロラがもらえないのよさ。別にそんなに欲しいわけでもないけど。
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know if that was the mic or not. Was that the mic? Or was that the game voice? I don't think it was the mic picking up anything, but I heard like a really loud tick.
チルチルには心底がっかり。何ウォンチューってなんだかテンション下がったのよさ。もう帰っていいよ。
うっさいわね。ちゃんと説明しないあんたたちが悪いんでしょ。何でもいいから歌えってことかと勘違いしてたわよ。
Hey, at least she helped, you know, or at least she was trying to help, even though it amounted to nothing, huh?
そもそもなんで私が歌わなきゃいけないのよ。ユージが歌えばいいじゃない。そうよ、私にやらせたんだからあんたも歌いなさいよね。ふふふ、嫌だとは言わせないわよ。
Yeah, I don't mind. Here goes. Ahem. I'm not... What the fuck? I'm not singing this. I'm just gonna say it out loud. There's lots of manju out there, but ours are made with care. So if you really want the best, you want to put us to the test. Oh my god, it's still going! I can't believe they actually made a jingle for this too. Here and there might be pretty fair, but just put them to the test and ours will prove the best. I can't believe they actually did this. Bunbury brand, mind you. They're the best. So dumb. Something along those lines.
何よそれ完璧じゃない私は歌う必要なかったじゃないの
Pop music in general tends to be pretty formulaic. Formulaic? I think it's laic, right? And advertising jingles in particular usually have fairly simple, catchy patterns. I just combine a few of those.
ほんと最初からこうしておけばよかったね。チルチルが無駄に恥をかいただけだったのよさ。
Man, I do feel sorry for you, Michiru. You might be up in the rankings, Michiru. Machina might be at rock bottom right now. Jesus Christ, Machina. I don't think there's any saving grace for her.
もう信じられない私帰る
山に
部屋によ
山の
山に部屋はない
山にも部屋はあるよね。山小屋とかさ。あるもん。あるじゃん。
That's not what she's really upset about. I think our good-natured ribbing may have angered her somewhat.
ありゃりゃ、チルチルを傷つけちゃったのよさ。
I think it's more accurate to say we gave her the opportunity to disgrace herself. The most serious damage to her ego was entirely self-inflicted. For a person with a standard capacity for embarrassment, that level of humiliation might have inspired a suicide attempt on the spot. Jesus, that's kinda dark. Thank goodness she's too stupid to know much in the way of shame.
あまねさん、お買い物お待たせしました。あれ？
あ、サチ、いいところに来たのよ。今ね、チルチルがご立腹みたいなんだけど、代わりに謝ってもらってもいい？
Man, these guys' dynamics are so weird. You're asking someone to apologize for you? What the hell?
それは構わないけど、今はあまねさんにお届け物をしている最中だから、その後になってもいい？
あまねの頼みなら後回しにしても大丈夫。本人もそう言ってたし。
My god, Machina, you're a pathological liar. She never said that.
それならそうするけど。
それじゃ、チルチルをよろしくなのよ。
Damn, the more I see Machina, the more I see her in a negative light. I mean, I somewhat remember her route being pretty good, but herself as a character is kind of bad. While Michiru was the other way around, her character was actually good. It was sadly her route that was bad. She ran away, plain and simple.
風見さん、私うまく事態が把握できていないのですが。
Sachi's naturally confused, so I provide a brief summary of the circumstances.
なるほど、そういうことだったんですね。
After a moment of silent contemplation, Sachi seems to have reached a conclusion.
それはおそらくあまねさんが安請け合いしてしまったのが原因だと思います。だとしたらあまねさんにも謝っていただいた方がいいかもしれません。
She's not wrong. Amane was the one that was making a fake promise and shoved it to Michiru.
もちろん買い物に行っていた私にも責任はあります。おそらく7割弱は私の責任です。
How is this even in any way your fault? What the hell? I'm not surprised to hear you say that, but I have to disagree.
8割強ですか？
No, your responsibility is pretty close to zero. I think we should probably have Amane own up to this one.
はい、それはそうですね。それが誠意というものです。みちる様に不愉快な思いをさせてしまったわけですし、あまねさんには謝っていただきます。
I mean, at the end of the day, Machina was the one that made the mistake though. Or at least the one that crushed Michiru in the end.
しかし、マキちゃんから頼まれた以上は、私も一緒に謝らせていただきます。
I see. In that case, shall we drag Amane along and make it a group apology?
はい、わかりました。と というわけでみちる様に謝っていただけませんか？私も一緒に謝らせていただきますので。
もうなんでこんなことに。軽い気持ちでやんなきゃよかった。
では床に顔つけ、額が擦り切れるほどのいわゆるこすり土下座の準備をしてください。
I don't think it's gonna be that serious, Sachi, but okay.
いわゆる土下座するまでの本気の謝罪しなくちゃいけないの？
もちろんです。万が一みちる様が許してくれなければ私も責任を取って腹を切る覚悟です。
きっと土下座しなくても許してくれるし、許してくれなくても腹は切らなくていいと思うけど、っていうか切っちゃダメでしょ腹は。
そうでしょうか。日本人の責任の取り方として一番有効なのは腹を切ることだと本で読んだことがあります。
I mean, I used to think so myself, actually, Sachi. But, I don't know, atonement is pretty hard to... what is it? It's pretty hard to define what atonement really means. Depends on the severity of your mistakes, I guess.
それがダメならどこを切れば責任が取れるでしょうか？
どこも切らなくてもいいと思うけど。
わかりました。あまねさんがそこまでおっしゃるのであれば切るのはやめます。その代わり粉砕させます。
How the hell do you even do that?
ちゃんと謝るからそういうこと言わないの。みちる早く開けて。そうしないと取り返しのつかないことになりそう。
みちる様、出てきていただけませんね。やはりもう許してはくれないのでしょうか？余談ですが、粉砕とは粉のように砕くと書くのをご存知ですか？
You must be having fun right now, Sachi.
みちる開けて。
Sachi's way of having fun is pretty damn strange.
ちょっとそんなに慌ててなんなのよ。うるさいでしょ。
But you do start to notice it at times.
みちる様が怒っている。これはやはり普通の謝り方では許してくれないかもしれません。となれば私が。
待てさっちゃん、まだ返事聞いてないでしょ。ねえみちる、ちゃんと謝れば許してくれるわよね。そうでしょ。そうだって言って。許す？もちろん決まってるじゃない。はあ、よかった。謝ったって絶対に許してあげないんだからね。決まった。そうじゃなくて。
Be true, my friend. I think you really should drop the tsundere act for the time being.
何を言ってるのよ。これはキャラなんかじゃないわよ。本当に私は怒ってるんですからね。絶対に許してなんてあげないから。それで何を許さないって？
まさかみちる様がこんなに怒っていらっしゃるとは。これはもう私一人では責任を取れないのではないでしょうか。わかりますか、あまねさん。私の言っている意味がお分かりですか？二人で一緒に粉砕連帯責任を取るということでよろしいですか？
みちる、本当にごめんなさい。許してくださいっていうか許しなさい。許さないって言ってるでしょ。何度も言わせないで。それで何を？ねえ、何を許すか教えてよ。
あまねさん、まず私がお手本を。さて、どの指からにしましょうか。
I don't think we're in the Yakuza, Sachi. God damn it.
ねえユージ、どうなってるの？
Okay, to make a long story short, Makina asked Samani to sing, but she pushed the job onto you, ultimately resulting in your thorough humiliation. Sachi's planning to atone for this misdeed by pulverizing her fingers.
意味わかんないんだけど、サチ関係なくない？
Well, pretty much nothing.
だよね。それなのになぜ？
申し訳ございません。
She's having fun, damn it,
マキちゃんに
Michiru.
頼まれたからという私の事情でご迷惑をおかけいたしました。その責任を取って指を、すべての指を。
いや、そういうことじゃないから。
は そういうことじゃないのに責任を取ろうとしてしまって申し訳ございません。かくなる上はこの小峰幸、腹を、すべての腹を。
許すからやめて、お願いだからね。ごめんなさい、許すから
許していただけるのですか？
ほらね、みちるもこう言ってることだし、落ち着いて。
本当に許していただけるのでしょうか？
本当だから、嘘じゃないから。だから安心してね。
Hey, Michiru, what happened to your tsundere pride?
嘘じゃないんだからね。
Okay, I don't think it counts if you just drop your real thoughts into the stock phrases.
うるさいわね。とにかく私は許したのよ。だから物騒なことはやめてちょうだい。
Yeah, I heard a pop there, and it wasn't my mic for sure. I think it is actually the game. For some reason, the game's kind of bugging right now. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys realize it, but the text is also like very weird. It like suddenly pops out all by itself, like pure instant. Like there's some sort of lag.
はい、かしこまりました。だそうです。よかったですね、あまねさん。
よかった、本当によかった。みちる、ありがとう。よかったんだからね。安心したんだからね。
それではあまねさん、次に先ほど頼まれたお買い物の件なのですが。
あ、すっかり忘れてたわよ。あったの？アイスクリンちゃん。
はい、もちろんです。山陽のアイス売り場になかったので、責任を取ってその場で自害しようかと思いましたが、駅向こうの省営の冷凍食品コーナーに紛れていたのを発見し、感涙にむせび泣きました。それではお待たせいたしました。売り切れ続出、噂の黒子。
Seems it's completely melted in the heat. Nothing but ice cream soup at this point, I imagine. Sachi's return to tranquility seems to have been short-lived, as she's currently exhibiting pronounced nystagmus. I have no idea what the fuck that is, Yuji. You and your stupid monologues. In less technical terms, her eyes are spinning around like those of a cartoon animal that just took an anvil to the head.
さっちゃん？いいのよ、仕方ないのよ、この暑さだから。
私、お買い物を遂行できず、私、
A careless mistake of this sort must be a truly bitter pill to swallow, considering Sachi's obsessive devotion to her duties. Her evident dismay is almost disturbing to watch. No one seems to know what to say. Oddly enough, the first of us to speak is Michiru. And stranger still, she does so in a bright, cheerful voice that cuts decisively through the awkward atmosphere.
よかったよかった、ちょうどよかった。ちょっとサチ、それ早く渡しなさいよ。いやー、本当にいいタイミングだったわね。
それはどういうことでしょうか？
私、このアイスを溶かして食べるの大好きなのよ。
Sure you do, Michiru.
今もちょうど溶かして食べたいなーって思ってた時に抜群のタイミングで出すんだもん。びっくりしちゃった。
そうなんですか？
そうよ。さあ、それちょうだい。一気飲みするから。
Forcefully seizing the liquid ice cream from the dubious Sachi, Michiru peels the lid off the carton with a smile. The contents sloshed thickly against the sides of the container. Thanks to the ominous color of the black sesame, it resembles nothing so much as a deep, dark swamp.
いっただきまーす。
おえ？今、苦しそうなおえつにも似た音が。
言ってないわよ。最高！これよ、これ求めていたのはこれなのよ。よかったわね、さっちゃん。みちるってば大喜びじゃない。
So it would seem. Her face may be stained a disturbing shade of gray, but just look at that smile.
今、限界を超えた悲鳴にも似た音が。
言ってないわよ。ナイスレプって言ったのよ。
そうなんですか。みちる様のお役に立ててよかったです。でもあまねさんに頼まれた買い物なのにその使命を果たせなかったのが心残りで、ここはやはり粉砕という形での責任を。
いや、いいのよ。私はほら、なんだ。バッカね。それは安心して。私が個人的に買ったのが部屋の冷蔵庫にあるから、それをあまねにあげるわ。ちゃんと冷えてるからあまねも喜ぶはずよ。
本当ですか？
ちょっと持ってくるから待ってなさいよね。これアイス。
ありがとうございます。
あんたのために持ってきたわけじゃないんだからね。
I really think she's straining the suspension of disbelief on that one. But as a kind and thoughtful man, I tactfully decided to keep that opinion to myself.
じゃあさっちゃん、半分あげるから一緒にロビーに食べに行こうか。
よろしいんですか？
もちろんよ。お使いしてきてくれたお礼も込めてね。
はい、ありがとうございます。
おいしくいただいたら承知しないからね。
Amane walks off with Sachi in tow. Michiru watches them until they're out of sight, gingerly rubbing her belly with both hands.
Nani 見てんのよ。
For a tsundere, you're remarkably considerate at times.
何よそれ。私は本当に黒ごまアイスは溶けてた方が好きなんだからね。
I see. Alright then, if you say so.
ちょっと変な勘繰りしないでよね。
Like what?
私がアイスを。あれ、勘繰りしてない？してないなら言う必要ないわ。
Yes, you don't really need to tell me. On a completely unrelated subject, take a few of these. It's Seirogan, herbal remedy. Does wonders for indigestion.
バクサ！こんなの女の子に渡すなんておかしいんじゃないの？っていうかこれ本当に薬？なんか丸めたゴミみたいなんだけど。
Quit yapping and swallow a few. It'll help a bit. You feel terrible, don't you?
そう。ああ、ユージ。
What? Spit it out.
せんめ。
What? At.
せめて遠いにしなさいよね。ブワーカ。
I see. It seems I'm still somewhat lacking in consideration toward women. The bitter scent of uncoated Seirogan pills tickles my nose as I turn away from the tsundere woman's room. It might be a simple misunderstanding on my part, but I'm beginning to think she may have a surprisingly thoughtful side. The way I see it, it's like, a lot of cracks in the dynamics of the group. That's how I see it. Wonder what would happen if,
セーブしますか？
like, some people are not trying to fill some of those roles. But alright, that is the end for this episode. This episode's actually a bit longer than usual because that scene was a lot longer than I thought. I'm having fun though, and I am definitely going to be recording again. Probably tomorrow, it's already pretty late today. But yeah, it turns out my voice is pretty much all Gucci. Yeah, sure, I had to clear my throat sometimes, but it's not really too much of an issue. Like, it's not like when I'm talking and then suddenly I'm coughing in the middle, right? Sometimes I just have to clear my throat every couple of minutes. Maybe like 20 minutes or so. Not that bad. But hope you guys enjoyed it. I am really enjoying reading visual novels. I mean, I always do, but you know, sometimes there are a couple of visual novels that are just way too weird. Well, then again, it's my fault for reading those weird ones in the first place. But okay. Enough of that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.